If you're over 60, you've probably been told that walking is the best way to stay active. It's simple, low impact, and gets your heart rate up. What's not to love? But what if I told you there's an exercise that goes even further? One that not only protects your joints, but actively strengthens them? One that's so effective, orthopedic surgeons are now recommending it more than walking for seniors. And the best part? It doesn't require expensive equipment or gym memberships. In fact, it's likely something you've seen others doing in a park, slow and steady, like a graceful dance. This ancient movement has stood the test of time. And now, modern science is catching up. Because as we age, walking alone may not be enough. If you want to stay mobile, independent, and pain-free well into your 70s and 80s, this one movement might be your secret weapon. Let's dive into the science. This isn't just anecdotal advice. Leading institutions like Harvard Medical School, the Mayo Clinic, and the National Institute on Aging have all spotlighted this exercise for its unique benefits to seniors. In one study published in the Journal of the American Geriatric Society, researchers found that seniors who practiced it regularly had significantly better balance, fewer falls, and even improved mental clarity compared to those who only walked or did general stretching. Meanwhile, orthopedic surgeons, the doctors who treat everything from joint replacements to spinal issues, have begun recommending it not only for rehabilitation, but for prevention. Why? Because it strengthens without straining. Dr. Peter Wayne, director of the Osher Center for Integrative Medicine at Harvard, describes it as medication in motion. And when you pair this with data from Japanese centenarian studies, where many seniors practice this movement daily, the picture becomes even clearer. We're not just talking about staying active. We're talking about staying sharp, mobile, and independent for decades longer. 5. Why walking isn't enough after 60. Walking is often considered the gold standard for senior fitness, and it's certainly better than being sedentary. It keeps the heart pumping, improves circulation, and gets you out in the fresh air. But here's where most people are misled. Walking, while good, simply doesn't cover all the bases once you're past 60. It doesn't challenge the muscles of your upper body. It does little for your balance, and it doesn't help much with flexibility or core strength, both of which are crucial as we age. A 70-year-old who only walks may still struggle with stairs, lifting groceries, or catching themselves if they trip. In fact, a Harvard Health report highlights that walking provides only a moderate benefit to balance and coordination, two of the biggest factors in fall prevention. And let's not forget, falls are the leading cause of injury-related deaths in adults over 65. Walking also puts repetitive stress on joints, especially if done on hard surfaces without supportive footwear or if arthritis is already present. It doesn't address muscle imbalances or postural decline either. That's where this surgeon-approved exercise shines. Unlike walking, it's a full-body movement. It involves the arms, legs, torso, and even the fingers and toes. It gently trains the muscles around the hips and knees, the same joints that walking can overuse, and builds the kind of strength that helps you get out of a chair without using your hands. And here's the kicker. It does all this without jarring impact or wear and tear. So while walking is a great starting point, it shouldn't be your end point. After 60, your body needs more than movement. It needs intelligent restorative training. And this one practice does exactly that, preparing your body for real-life motion in a way walking never could. 4. The aging problem. No one talks about sarcopenia. Most people assume that feeling weaker with age is just part of getting older, but what's really happening behind the scenes is a medical condition called sarcopenia. Starting as early as your 30s, your body begins to lose muscle mass naturally. But after 60, this loss accelerates dramatically. By the time many people reach 70 or 80, they may have lost up to 30% of their total muscle strength. And here's the frightening part. It happens silently. You don't notice it at first. Maybe you tire more easily climbing stairs, or your balance feels a bit off. But over time, sarcopenia increases your risk of falls, fractures, insulin resistance, and even early death. Now, walking might keep your legs somewhat active, but it barely slows down this muscle loss. What you need is an exercise that gently resists gravity, activates your core, and engages your entire body in a way that stimulates muscle regeneration, not just movement. That's exactly what this powerful, low-impact practice does. Researchers at the University of Texas found that older adults who practiced it for just 12 weeks experienced measurable gains in lower body strength and grip strength, both critical indicators of longevity. And unlike traditional strength training, which can be intimidating or even unsafe for seniors with joint issues, this method uses slow, controlled motion that actually protects the joints while rebuilding muscle tissue. It stimulates what's known as type Y muscle fibers, the ones responsible for endurance, posture, and daily functional tasks like rising from a chair or walking steadily on uneven ground. Even better, this exercise helps retrain your nervous system. As we age, the communication between brain and muscle can slow down, leading to missteps and stumbles. But by moving slowly and with intention, you're effectively rewiring your brain to stay connected to your muscles, keeping your reactions sharp and your movements confident. Sarcopenia may be silent, but it's not inevitable. With the right practice, you can halt and even reverse this decline. 3. The brain-body connection gets stronger. What's fascinating about this exercise is that it doesn't just strengthen your body, it actually rewires your brain. That's not an exaggeration. Researchers have discovered that the slow, deliberate movements involved stimulate a phenomenon called neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to form new connections, even late in life. And the effects are profound. In a 2020 study from the University of South Florida, older adults who practiced this movement 3 times a week showed improvements in memory, attention span, and even mood compared to a control group. Brain scans revealed increased activity in regions tied to focus and coordination, the same areas that typically decline with age. What's happening here is that the brain is being forced to pay attention in a new way. Each movement is intentional, often requiring balance, weight shifting, and awareness of space. This forces the brain to stay fully engaged, like mental resistance training. But the cognitive benefits don't stop there. Surgeons have observed patients recovering from orthopedic surgery who add this practice to their rehab routines. And they don't just regain mobility faster, they also show fewer signs of post-op confusion or emotional instability. One theory is that the meditative aspect of the movement helps regulate cortisol, the stress hormone that tends to spike with illness or trauma. Lower cortisol means better sleep, calmer moods, and a sharper mind. And let's not forget the emotional impact. Isolation and anxiety are common challenges among older adults, especially after retirement or loss. This exercise, often done in groups or outdoor settings, brings back a sense of community and purpose. That's why neurologists in both Western hospitals and Eastern wellness centers recommend it not just for physical therapy, but as part of mental health care. So yes, it strengthens muscles, but perhaps even more importantly, it strengthens the very connection between your mind and body, helping you move with confidence, focus, and peace of mind. 2. Better than cardio. It boosts longevity hormones. Most people assume that only intense cardio workouts, like running or cycling, can trigger the kind of hormonal changes that promote longevity. But here's what recent research is showing. This gentle, low-impact exercise actually boosts some of the same powerful biological responses as vigorous training, without the stress on your joints or heart. That's right. It may look calm on the outside, but inside your body, it's triggering a cascade of youth-preserving hormones. One of the key players here is IGF-1, or insulin-like growth factor 1. It's a hormone responsible for cell repair, muscle growth, and brain function. As we age, IGF-1 levels drop, and with it, our ability to heal, think clearly, and stay strong. But multiple studies have shown that older adults who consistently practice this movement see natural boosts in IGF-1, helping reverse age-related decline. What's even more interesting is that this increase happens without the spike in cortisol that often comes from traditional high-intensity exercise. The exercise also improves heart rate variability, a key measure of how well your body responds to stress. Better variability is linked to lower risk of heart disease, stroke, and even Alzheimer's. And unlike cardio that pushes the heart hard and fast, this method trains the heart to adapt gently and efficiently, making it an ideal option for those with high blood pressure or cardiovascular concerns. But perhaps the most exciting hormonal effect is on inflammation. Chronic inflammation is now considered one of the root causes of nearly every major age-related disease. From diabetes to arthritis to dementia, this exercise has been shown to lower inflammatory markers like C-reactive protein, interleukin-6, and TNF-alpha, the very substances that silently damage your cells over time. The best part? All of this happens in as little as 20-30 minutes a few times a week. You don't need a treadmill or a boot camp class. Just a quiet space, your body, and a willingness to move with intention. So while cardio has its place, this form of exercise taps into a deeper, more restorative biological rhythm, one that supports healing, balance, and healthy aging from the inside out. 1. The exercise that rebuilds strength, flexibility, and balance at once. The exercise that surgeons, Harvard researchers, and longevity experts are now recommending over walking is Tai Chi. It might surprise you. It's slow, it's gentle, and to the untrained eye, it may not even look like real exercise. But don't be fooled. Tai Chi is one of the most complete physical and mental health practices you can do after 60, and the research behind it is staggering. In a landmark study published in the New England Journal of Medicine, older adults who practiced Tai Chi twice a week had a 43% reduction in falls. That's nearly cutting fall risk in half. Other studies show improvements in bone density, flexibility, and even immune system markers. The slow, flowing movements of Tai Chi work every muscle group in the body, but without jarring impacts or dangerous positions. It strengthens the legs, opens the hips, engages the core, and improves posture. And because it requires balance and coordination, it retrains your neuromuscular system, the vital brain-to-body connection that helps prevent missteps and injuries. Orthopedic surgeons love it because Tai Chi builds functional strength, the kind you need to live independently, getting out of a chair, stepping into a bathtub, carrying groceries. These are the real-world movements that Tai Chi prepares your body for. And unlike weight machines or resistance bands, Tai Chi is self-adjusting. You move within your limits. There's no pressure to push through pain or exhaustion. Even more fascinating is the way Tai Chi restores joint lubrication. As you gently shift your weight and rotate through your joints, the synovial fluid, your body's natural joint oil, begins to circulate more freely. This reduces stiffness and can even help manage arthritis symptoms. No pills, no surgery, and just mindful movement. Many senior centers now offer Tai Chi classes. Hospitals like Mayo Clinic and Cleveland Clinic incorporate it into recovery programs. And in places like Okinawa, Japan, a region famous for its high number of centenarians, Tai Chi or similar practices are part of daily life. Tai Chi isn't just better than walking, it's a master tool for aging well. It strengthens you without straining you. It calms you while energizing you, and it connects you to your body, your breath, and a longer, healthier life. It's easy to underestimate what your body is capable of after 60, especially if you felt stiff, sore, or less steady on your feet. But the truth is, aging doesn't have to mean decline. The human body is incredibly adaptable even in later decades. And sometimes the smartest thing you can do isn't to push harder, it's to move wiser. Tai Chi represents a shift in how we think about fitness for older adults. It's not about burning calories or pushing to the limit. It's about restoration, precision, and building strength from the inside out. It honors the natural rhythms of the aging body while still challenging it in meaningful, measurable ways. That's why doctors, physical therapists, and even neurologists are embracing it, not just as an alternative to walking, but as a superior foundation for mobility, independence, and quality of life. So if you've been walking every day but still feeling off balance, if you've been avoiding strength training because of your joints, or if you've just felt unsure about how to stay active safely, Tai Chi may be your answer. Not a trend, not a gimmick, but a proven, surgeon-approved method that's helping thousands of seniors stay strong, clear-headed, and fall-free. Because you deserve more than just getting by in your 60s, 70s, and beyond. You deserve to thrive. And it's never too late to start moving differently and living better, one step, one breath, one graceful motion at a time.